question to you is, since you have no legacy in dealing with containers, so what made you choose this field and what made you confident to following it from national to multinational to international?
It's not correct to say I had no connection with containers. I was actually selling containers at that point of time. Bamlori was a container manufacturer. So the people that I was dealing with were container leasing companies and shipping companies. So I had a fair idea about container leasing and shipping, but not enough to do container leasing, which is what Kronos wanted me to do, right? But I knew what their business is, and in many ways we had gone beyond just trying to sell containers to them, because they were comfortable in buying containers in China, Vietnam, Thailand, Malaysia, South Africa, all over the place. But they were not buying in India. So to convince them to buy, I and my team in Bangalore, we decided that the only way we can interest them is to find customers for them first. Before we find them as a customer, to find their customers. And then go to them and say that, listen, we have researched. If you buy containers from us, these people will lease from you. Right? So we went to that level in the initial stages, because these agents who were there at that time were not doing their job. Right? We didn't think that they were actually doing anything much. So I wouldn't be able to sell containers if they didn't see a market for containers here. Right? So that's how it started. Yeah, there was a lot of learning to do. But I felt comfortable that if Kronos felt that I could do the job, I thought to myself, maybe I can do the job. And I convinced the people who were joining the company also, while none of us know anything about container leasing, I'm sure we'll be able to learn it. And in time, I would say within a year or year and a half, we were actually awarded Best Area Office of Kronos worldwide. Right. That was something I was very proud of, right? Which meant that we had learned the business, we had excelled in it, and out of 20 area offices, if you are chosen as the best area office for that year, that meant something. Yes.
So it's great to hear these things from you. So after carefully pursuing your voyage until this place, it is evident that it wasn't a smooth sail. However, you braved every storm that came on your way. So, do you remember any such instance where you felt like giving up? And if yes, then what made you overcome those moments?
Storms. If you take 25 years, what's happened in the country itself, if you know, how many wars have we fought, right, since Colonel is there? How many things have we gone through? Floods, etc., etc. Forget pandemic, so many things. But give up, never. That thing never came to my mind, ever. I'm not one who gives up on a battle, right? We have had our really low times. We have had our really highs, big highs, right? But yes, when you get into business or you get into the corporate world, I would say any part of it, you take family, you take anything, you must be prepared that nothing will ever be smooth, right? It's not going to be the same day to day. And how prepared are you to face the challenges that come by? Yeah, we have had plenty. In 25 years, there were three periods when shipping went through a slump. Slump was as bad as, I would say that, just to give you an idea, where today container utilization is 99.8%. So today is a period when there is absolutely, the whole industry is rocking. But there were times when the utilization was as low as 60% for Kronos, which meant during those times, it was practically impossible to even pay agents or depots or factories or whatever, because you don't have the revenue coming, or you could have a financial, like what we had with Lehman and the financial meltdown. You must remember, when you are in international business, anything that happens in the world, a war, a financial meltdown, COVID, everything has some impact on your business. What happens, it's the butterfly effect. So what happens in Europe, you can't say will have no effect on you. If a ship got stuck in the Suez Canal, and that affected the global shipping for almost, maybe 7-8 months. The ship was stuck only for 3 weeks, but the effect is 8 months or 9 months to sort it out. So we have to be prepared for it. So how I as a leader prepare myself and how I prepare my team, that's the important thing. I'm sure you don't want to know about all the lows, right, that the company goes through, right? Look at your own life, or you look at any journey anybody has, you will realize that that's all part of, it's all part of it, right? The more you live, the more you will come through. Did we ever think that we will see a pandemic like we saw, and what's continuing for 2 years, where the hotel business, the airline business, shipping in the initial stage? Well, I must say that when pandemic struck us, it was like we had hit a wall. Everything came to a standstill. Customers had no money, they didn't need any containers, we couldn't do anything. Nobody was buying, nobody was selling, nobody was exporting, nobody was importing, right? Because nobody needed anything, because everyone is sitting at home, right? And no one knew what's going to happen. Companies were closing, right? Restaurants, bars, hotels, theaters, shopping malls. If everything closes down, what are you going to export and what are you going to import, right? So all this makes a big difference, right? But we decided to dig into reserves, and I'm just talking about what happened in the last 1.5 years. But you stick with it, and three months later we realized we are actually started to better utilization, revenues have improved, everything has gone up, right? Yeah, please. Does that answer the question?
Sure, sir, definitely. Sir, I think we have got so many questions with us to ask you, but to just because of constraints, we know that how you nurture the company and how it is going ahead. So we just come on to some question about how your leadership and how you are handling. We are going on to this question, sir. Basically, many people working for your company, but you got a core team. And just a question, sir, maybe there may not be an answer with you. Could you recall the first employee you had? And when you were trying to hire some people and your first team was made, what came into your mind first?
That I will not take the person.
Sure. Okay, understood.
No,
Nice.
I'll tell you why. 2 people who are working with me in Bangalore, they both approached me and said that they wanted to join me. And I said no. I said I'm not going to take anybody from Bangalore where I have served for 16 years.
Yes.
Unless Bangalore agrees. Right. And I said first thing I did was, first employee was refused. And I told her that there's no way. And I said, it's too big a risk. I can afford to take the risk. I'm taking the risk. You don't have to do that. Right. And I don't want to be responsible for somebody I know well, right, to join me. Right. Though I would have loved to immediately get her on board. But anyway, as luck would have it, Bangalore agreed to release both of them. They had no problem. So they became my first employees.
That's again you said it very simply, because we can understand it wouldn't have been so smooth. Sir, just before we going ahead, let me introduce Dr. Renu Verma. She's our professor with us. She's also joined the meeting just to hear from you, sir.
Okay.
Okay, Priya, please continue.
Thanks.
So thank you, sir, for being a good interaction with us. So my next question is, being in the business for all these years, there must have been something with which you never compromise. But do you consider non-negotiable in your business?
Yes, there is only one thing which is non-negotiable: honesty. I make it clear to everyone who joins business in VSNB, and I interchange that we are not here to make money in any which way. We will make money only if it is ethical and if it's through honest means, right? And we will not compromise on that. And that's something we have held on for the last 25 years. It's something which is coded into our DNA now, as far as the company is concerned. So I want employees, vendors, customers to understand that we will be a transparent, honest Indian company. It may sound like a little difficult, because internationally, if you look at it, Indian companies don't have a great reputation of being honest. Right? That's a problem. I think among the first things that I did at Bullman was to hold there was a discussion and a presentation on the value of integrity. I think it's a very undervalued thing in Indian business. But I would say, believe me, there is a huge price you will earn, right, because of integrity. So that's the only thing, I'm very clear, that's the only thing that we won't compromise on. We can drop prices, we may increase prices, we may write off containers, we may have customers, but whatever be the case, we will only pursue something which is ethical.
Sir, the honesty and the ethics of your working and your organization is highly appreciable.